Hello and welcome to this video interview with Cabeau Global Travel Retail Sales Director, Lital Guedalia. Hi Lital, how are you?
Hi Andy, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's really nice to see you, albeit virtually.
It's always good to see you also.
And I really look forward to when we can see each other face to face, wherever that may be.
I think I could speak for all of us when I say we're all looking forward for that.
Anyway, so I'll kick things off. So can you put into words how Cabeau has been impacted by the pandemic, and how important has it been to be positive yet realistic as far as your travel, retail and duty-free aspirations are concerned?
So I think the last year has been a very, very challenging year. I think not just in travel retail, with retail being down, but for travel accessories specifically, our revenue has dropped by 80% globally. We've had no choice but to let go of about 50% of our workforce. But we've stayed positive, and it is important to stay positive and to know that the things are going to come back. None of us quite know when, but we are very positive that they will come back, and finding different ways onto how to continue remaining open and how to strive to grow our sales back up to where they need to be.
I mean, communication is such a big part of that on a regular basis with partners, I imagine in the offices and around the world. So maybe that leads kind of nicely onto my next question. How have you been working with existing retailers during the pandemic to encourage them to continue purchasing products?
So I think, again, it's been a very, very difficult time, considering a lot of the stores are either closed or fully stocked. The best thing that we've done is just continuing to remain in communication, being transparent with them, understanding what their challenges are, trying to work through those challenges together. We understand also that although the travel industry has been hit, the travel category has been hit even harder. The purchasing behavior has changed a bit through the consumer. So we're just trying to work through those challenges and just remaining transparent and in communication with all of our partners and trying to find the way.
So important. And I think during one of our conversations when we spoke socially via one of the various forms of communication, I think it might have been Zoom, you mentioned that you'd introduced, your company was introducing I think it was correct me, an S3D poll, is that correct?
It's the S3D header display, yes.
So can you please describe exactly how it works and how retailers and customers can benefit from it in travel, retail and duty free?
Sure. So I think it was about a year ago or a year and a half ago that we brought in our new pole display. Our pole display is about a 14-inch all around. So it's a very small footprint in the store. So understanding that all of the travel retail spaces are very limited, we tried to bring a display that is very minimal in size. The display itself is basically a topper to the pole, so it will sit on top of the pole. What it is an explanation of how the S3 pillow works. So the Evolution S3, which is our latest launch that we did a year and a half ago as well. We've gotten some feedback from our consumers that not always do the consumers understand how to engage the pillow properly or how to use it properly. So it has the strap. So what the display does is it sits on top of the pole display and it fully engages on a fake looking seat of how the pillow looks. The great thing about the display is not only that it explains the pillow, it is very intriguing. So what we found through placing it in a couple of places that we've tested it in the US is that not only did it increase the sales by over 50% in that location specifically during the period of the test, but it also brought in additional consumers into the store. So where the footprint used to be a little bit smaller, or the foot traffic used to be a little bit smaller for that store, they noticed that more and more people are coming in, approaching the pole display, approaching the display itself, asking about it. Oh my God, what is that? Oh, can I touch it? Or people trying to pull the pillow off of it, which is not what we want, but we do want them to engage with it. We do want people to come in. So it's definitely seen from afar. It's intriguing. It's increased the sales. So it's really done us really well, especially during this time where we're seeing that less and less passengers are flying through. We're trying to engage with as many people as possible.
Sounds really exciting. I guess that, I mean, you said you tested it. I imagine a wider rollout will hopefully be on the agenda, I guess, for this.
Yeah, for sure. So we tested it in a couple locations. Now we're in full mode of dispersing it and getting our pre-orders on it from different locations, asking all of our partners who and when they would like to receive it. So we're going to have it in stock within the next 2 months, and then we're going to get it out to all the stores and hopefully see an increase across the board.
Fantastic. And also, when I think we spoke last during the same social call, you mentioned the launch of, is it, correct me if I'm wrong, the Incredibelt?
Yes.
Once again, can you just give an overview of how this works and what feedback have you had since it's been launched from travel retailers, maybe?
Sure. So, I mean, it's still in production, so it hasn't launched yet into stores, but it is coming. The Incredibelt is an innovation that we thought of because of the pandemic and everything going on. We as a company had to figure out ways to still place product within the travel realm, but also be able to branch out into different industries, different channels of distribution, and not just be tied to travel. That's how the Incredibelt came about. So as we were doing the research around the Incredibelt, we found that 8 out of 10 people suffer from lower back pain. So it's very common. And unlike the common perception that back pain is in the older crowd, so-called, it's not. It starts at 18 years old. And I think now, specifically with more and more people working from home and not having the proper chairs or the proper setup with their computers, I think the back pain is increasing even more so. So that's how the Incredibelt came about. The other piece to the Incredibelt is that for the most part, all the back support items that are out there right now are static. They can't move. So you place them, you tie them to a chair, and you have the support on the chair. The way the Incredibelt works is that it actually attaches to you. So when you're moving around, the belt moves with you. So you have the constant dynamic support no matter where you are, no matter where you're going. So when we're talking for travel retail, imagine driving to the airport, you have your belt on. You get to the airport, you're going through security, you sit down at the gate waiting for your flight, you still have the support. So it doesn't matter what seat you're in, you always have a support. You get on the plane, still have support. Get off the plane for a connection flight, still have support. And then the other thing to that is it's not only just support when you're sitting, it's also support when you're standing, because it's a belt. So it supports both while sitting, while standing, while sleeping. It's truly dynamic and it works in all realms. So it's been, we've had great feedback from our partners that we've discussed it with thus far. We'll have the item available within the next month. So we shall see how the sales go back then.
Great. I wish you all the best of it. It sounds fantastic, and it's great to hear that you're already getting such positive feedback. Does the launch of like Incredibelt, for example, give a clear indication of the company's plan to like diversify into other niches and perhaps focus on products which can be used by those working at home in the future? Because I imagine, I mean, we don't know how things are going to like shape up again. Is everyone going to be going into the office as much? So for me, it sounds like it's that word pivoting for me, but obviously it'd be keen to get your view on that.
So yes, 100%. I think the company as a whole, we are doing a pivot from travel accessories or travel comfort to lifestyle comfort and wellness. So it's a repositioning of the entire brand to more than travel. We are more than a travel brand. We are more than just a travel comfort brand. We are for everything. And the products that we will launch after the Incredibelt will all speak to that same realm where it can be used in travel, but it's not for travel necessarily. It's for everything. It's for everyday use.
Fantastic. And how important is it to try and find that balance between trying to be innovative and come up with new products and innovations and concepts, and and trying to like survive and consolidate what you have? Because I guess there's an element of risk when you come in during these times, when you come up with new innovations like you talked about during this interview. But I guess there's always that kind of lump in your throat where you want to try and consolidate what you have as well. So how did the team at Cabeau, the travel retail team at Cabeau, strive to find that balance?
So I think as a brand, we have short-term and long-term goals that we're trying to achieve, and finding the balance between immediate revenue and long-term sustainability has been a challenge. But if we stick to who we are as a brand, which is innovative, and if we stick to our core values, then I think that's what's going to guarantee us the long-term and short-term goal achievement. We cannot stray away from who we are. So innovative has always been our short and long-term goal. So it's going to remain as such.
Okay, and you mentioned the word sustainability. I think you were referring to it in terms of like maybe in a different context, but I'm just going to ask you about sustainability in like an environmental focus, because it's very close to our hearts here at TRBusiness. We have our sustainability week coming up in April. So I'm just going to ask you, how important is the issue of sustainability like to Cabeau's travel retail and duty-free strategy? And can you please provide details of any sustainability initiatives that you've been working on with duty-free and travel retail in mind?
Of course. So sustainability for us has always been a priority. It's one of our core values as a brand. We have, in the past couple of years, we've completely minimized the amount of plastics we use in our packaging as well as our products. All of our packaging is technically fully recyclable. And we also, if you notice, all of our pillows, the reason that there is a zipper on it so that you could wash it, instead of having to replace a pillow consistently, you can wash your pillow and keep it hygienic. Also, as a brand, pre-pandemic, we used to take one day out of each month to volunteer. Some of our volunteer efforts included beach cleanups. Some of it has been, there's a foundation out in California called the Waste Station, Wildlife Waste Station, that we would go out there, we would help them clean up as well. We have planted trees before. So we've come together with different foundations, different initiatives around California, specifically where our headquarters is, and have always donated our time and efforts to help the environment.
So refreshing to hear. I mean, it's just, I mean, sustainability is becoming more and more prominent. Companies are doing more and more. As far as I'm personally concerned, long may this continue. And just finally, you sort of probably touched on a few elements of this, but can you just offer a final flavour on your travel retail and duty-free strategy for the year ahead? And what do you expect like to be some of the main challenges, obviously stemming from the coronavirus pandemic? And just maybe what's the mood like among the Cabeau travel retail team? Because it's, you know, it's and the retailers are working, because it's not been easy for anybody. So I think that's a nice way to end the interview.
So I think if we're going to talk about mood, the best way to describe it is probably cautious and hopeful. A guarded optimism, I think, is a cool way of calling it. As far as strategy is just building our relationship with our current clients, optimizing the spaces that we're currently in, working as much towards the return of travel. So I think the better our placement is within stores, the better our relationships are within our partners, the better we will do when the clients come back, when the consumers come back, when travel retail comes back. And that's been the main focus right now, is just working with our partners, working on our strategy, the S3D display, maximizing our potential within each and every location that we're within.
Great, and a nice positive way to end there. So good luck with the launches of these new concepts that you talked about, and send our best wishes to the team. And I really look forward to seeing you in person very soon.
Crossing my fingers.
Thanks, Lital.
Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate your time.